Good morning. Good morning. Are you having your coffee? Do you have any sugar in your coffee? And if you still do have sugar in your coffee or your tea early in the morning, are you willing to try going without adding any sugar into your coffee, into your tea, into your drinks for 7 days? If you do, I invite you to join me in this 7-day no sugar in drinks challenge. If you are keen to take up this challenge, go to the link in the description. If you're on Instagram, it may be the link in the bio. Right? Go to the link in the description or somewhere in this video and sign up for it. I shall send you an email every day to encourage you with information, with encouragement, to get you to jumpstart the habit of not having any sugar in your drinks. What are you doing this beautiful Saturday? Are you having your coffee now? Are you having your tea now? Right? What are you doing? Okay, so I want to invite you to take up this challenge of not having any sugar in your drinks. Good morning. Good morning. Hi. If you are new here, I'm Dr. Chan. I'm a medical doctor from Singapore. My passion is in getting people to improve their lifestyle, improve their diet in simple yet powerful ways, including the simple habit of not adding any sugar in your drinks, not adding any sugar, not adding any kind of sweeteners. I'm not saying that we should be afraid of sugar. Sugar is not poison, right? Sugar is sugar. Sugar is food, right? Sugar has been used for thousands of years. And why am I encouraging people not to add sugar into their drinks? Because it can be a very simple yet powerful habit. Powerful habit to have that's good for our health in so many different ways. I've seen many people, including my patients, including people who come to see me on for one-to-one coaching, to help them improve their lifestyle, to help them improve their diet, to better control their diabetes, to better control their various chronic diseases. And one of the things that I often ask them, before I go into any specific detailed or special dietary recommendation, a simple thing that I would check with them would be, are you still having any kind of sweeteners in your drinks? And most of the time, right, to no longer to my surprise anymore, initially I was, right, that even for people who are very health conscious, even for people who are trying their best, right, to eat better, trying their best to improve their blood sugar control, that they are still having sugar in their drinks to some degree, at some levels, to some levels. It may be when they go order coffee, in Singapore, order coffee, right? They may order, instead of ordering, right, kopi o kosong, right? Instead of ordering kopi o kosong, right, they will order kopi siu tai, right? They may order kopi siu tai, right? They may order kopi o siu tai, the kopi o siu tai, right? So I want to encourage you, right, that would you be willing, right, to try to improve, right, their lifestyle, their diet, right, to your lifestyle and diet, starting with lowering your intake of sugar in your drinks, lowering your intake of sugar in your drinks. Okay, so I want to challenge you now. How many of you are willing to take up this challenge? Good morning to Rob Fan, say 你好, how are you? And then we have Bloom Jessica watching from Tokyo, right? And Red Fan is konnichiwa. Okay, I'm Chinese, okay, not Japanese. I'm Chinese. Where are you from? Any of you want to type in the comments and we can have a chat? Do you have sugar in your drinks? If you have, are you willing to take up this challenge? I've set myself this goal in the next few months to get 1,000 people. 1,000 people to take up this challenge of going 7 days without adding any sugar, adding any sweeteners into their drinks. Right now, I have about 40 people who have, since I started this a few days ago, I have about 40 people who have taken up this challenge, who have signed up to this challenge through my website. So if you want to sign up to this challenge to help me meet this 1,000 people target. Now, 1,000 people to take up this 7-day challenge to avoid, to minimize, to cut down on their sugar in their drinks. Right? Go to the website in the link in the description, or go to wherever, right, that you are um, watching this from, right there, or go to my website. There's always links on my Instagram, on my Facebook, on my YouTube, on my TikTok, right? And hi, Red Fam, is you're watching from Alabama, right? Hi, you're watching from Alabama. How are you? Right, nice to have people from Alabama, watching this live stream. And I want to challenge you. I want to encourage you that, do you think, right, you can? Are you willing to cut down on your intake of sugar in your drinks? Do you think that coffee without sugar is just terrible? It's ah, it's not drinkable? Or do you think that coffee without sugar is real coffee, the true way, right, to drink coffee? And Jessica Bloom asked me, how about honey? Right, Jessica Bloom asked about honey. Okay, so I want to encourage everybody to keep things simple, to keep things very, very simple. And I'm talking about every sweetener. Right? I'm talking about any kind of sweeteners, right? Including honey, fruit juice, or whatever. Right? I want to encourage you to try for the next 7 days. Just 7 days. I'm not talking about 7 weeks. I'm not talking about 7 months. I'm not talking about 30 days. I'm just talking about 7 days. 7 days without adding any sugar to your drinks. Are you willing to do it? Are you willing to try it? Right. So I want to encourage you to take up this challenge. How many of you still have sugar in your drinks? How many of you still add any kind of sweeteners to your drinks? Okay. So you're welcome, uh, um, Jessica Bloom. Okay. Welcome. Okay. So I have somebody, Abel Akoba Katube, right? What happened to the body with no sugar in 7 days? We are not talking about blood sugar. We are not talking about sugar in our entire diet. We are not talking about like, oh, we don't take anything that will give us sugar, right? And it's all our physiology regarding the regulation of blood sugar. It's a lot more complex. There are many sources of where our blood sugar can come from, right? Not just from a diet, but even from within our body, that we can actually create glucose. But put all this complexity aside, okay? Abel Akoba, right? What I'm trying to say, right, is that avoid adding sugar to your drinks for the next 7 days. Sugar in your drinks. I'm not even talking about sugar in your food. Right? I'm trying to isolate one area of our diet and then tackle it. Okay, and I'm certain, right? Unless you have medical conditions that your doctor tells you that you need to constantly be eating or drinking certain things to keep your blood sugar at a certain level, or for whatever reasons. Right? Other than that, for most people, right, we can all not just tolerate, we can all do well with not adding sugar to our drinks. Okay, we can all do well with not adding sugar to our drinks, sweeteners to our drinks. Right? So the long answer to Abel Akoba's question, what happened to a body with no sugar? We are not talking about not having sugar in our body. Okay, so let's distinguish that very clearly. I'm not talking about not having any sugar in our body. Right? I'm not even talking about not having any kind of carbohydrate, any kind of sugar in our food. I am merely talking about not having any sugar in our drinks. Okay, as a start, that's all I'm challenging you to do. So if you're willing, go to the link in the description, sign up to this challenge, I shall commit to sending you an email every single day for the next 7 days to encourage you to press on, to jumpstart a lifestyle of very low minimal intake of added sugar in your diet. How many of you would agree that a habit of having minimal, very low added sugar in our food and drinks is a good habit to have? How many of you would agree? Write in the comment section. How many of you would agree that it is a good thing? It is doable for everybody, and it is good for everybody. Right? It is doable for everybody, and it is good for everybody. How many of you would agree with that? Yeah. So, I have somebody, YT, agree with me that it is doable and good for everybody to have minimal to low added sugar. Added sugar. Okay, the definition here is very important. I'm talking about added sugar. I'm not even talking about sugar that's naturally occurring in our food, in our fruits, in our various carbohydrate containing food of all kind, any kind. I'm merely talking about added sugar in our food and drinks. How many of you would agree? Write in the comment section. Let's have a chat. Let's have a chat. Right. I am. Hi. So many of you are now slowly coming in and joining in to this live stream from my various YouTube channels, from my Facebook pages, and even for the first time I'm trying to stream to my Instagram. How many of you are watching this from Instagram? I'm streaming this for the first time actually. I've never streamed live at Instagram. Good morning to Esther. Good morning to you, Esther. Good morning. Right. Yeah. For those who are new here, I'm Dr. Chan. I'm a practicing medical doctor. I'm from Singapore, and my work is in the area of helping people, coaching people, training people in the area of changing their lifestyle, in the area of improving their diet, to better control their diabetes, to better control their weight, to better control various chronic diseases like high blood pressure, high cholesterol, uh, high blood sugar, diabetes. What we in Singapore in Chinese say the 三高, 血糖高、血压高、血脂高. Right? So my work is in the area of training and coaching people, whether through group workshops, whether I run programs in churches, in hospitals, in the communities, or through one-to-one coaching. My work is totally focused on helping people improve their lifestyle and diet to better prevent and control chronic diseases. Okay? Because it is important for us to deal with the underlying causes of chronic diseases. If our lifestyle, our diet has caused or is contributing significantly to the various chronic conditions that we have, don't you think it is important to deal with them? Not just 治标, we must 治本. We cannot just deal with the symptoms of our chronic diseases. We must deal with the underlying causes, the underlying contributing factor of our chronic diseases. Right? So if our diet, if our lifestyle has been contributing to our sleep habits, our stress management habits, our exercise habits, our diet, the sugar in our drinks, the sugar in our food, the lack of vegetables in our diet, a lack of fiber, lack of whatever. If our diet, our lifestyle has contributed to the development of, have contributed to the severity of any of chronic diseases, do you not think that it is important to then go and undo all those contributory causes? If you have a bad lifestyle, bad diet contributing to a disease, don't you think we need to change it instead of merely overly solely depending on medications? We must not depend on medications. When it comes to chronic diseases like high blood pressure, high cholesterol, diabetes, where lifestyle and diet obviously obviously play a very significant role, right? Don't you think it is critical? Don't you think it is important, right, to deal with the underlying causes, right? So, good morning to you, Fifi. Good morning, right? Um, where are you all you from? I have quite a number of you streaming in and joining me this morning. I have my coffee. I'm in a food center here, right? Yeah, you can hear the noise because I'm in the middle of a busy food center here in Singapore. And I'm having my morning coffee, black coffee without sugar, black coffee without sugar. And I want to challenge you and I hope to achieve this goal for the next few months. I hope to get 1,000 people. My own personal little campaign, not a government campaign, not a government health promotion campaign. It is my own personal endeavor. I want to get 1,000 people in the shortest possible time to join in this 7 days no sugar in drinks challenge. Why do I want to do that? Because that is a good start. Even though that's a baby step, there are many things in our diet that we need to deal with. There are many things in our lifestyle that we need to deal with, but we need not deal with all of them at the same time. When we try to do so many things, right? We try to improve our diet, 少盐少油少糖, cut down on salt, cut down on sugar, cut down on fatty food, cut down on, and we do so many things at one go. Often I find my patients being discouraged, overwhelmed, and paralyzed by it. We can all do well to isolate. We can do well to isolate, all right, what we want to do. Don't attempt too many things at one time, right? Do one thing at a time and do it well. 慢走，爱走做随睡. Is we either don't try it at all. If you should try to change, let's have a good go at it. Let's have a good go at making our best committed, concerted effort, right, to change, to improve, to make the breakthrough to acquiring a new habit, right? Instead of trying a little bit and fail and getting discouraged along the way, right? So I have many of you. Why don't you introduce yourself and have a chat? Let's have a chat. I have Esther from Singapore. Good morning, Renchi, and have a Fifi from Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. Right. Good morning to all of you. Okay. So I want to encourage you that 人老必有三高 should not be an inevitable outcome. Right. In Chinese, that means that it is inevitable that as we age, you get the three high blood pressure, high cholesterol, high blood sugar. No, it should not be inevitable. Right. We should do everything that we can, and there's many things that we can do to reduce our risk of developing diabetes. There's many things that we can do to reduce our risk of having high blood pressure, high cholesterol. Do you know that in modern developed communities, developed countries, in cities in developed countries, 1 in 3%, right, who might develop, is likely to develop diabetes in their lifetime. We have just been through a pandemic, and there's one pandemic, there's one epidemic that many of us are not vigilant about, not conscious of, and that's the epidemic of chronic diseases, the epidemic of diabetes. 1 in 3 of us living in developed countries or even in third world countries, 1 in 3% run the risk of developing diabetes in a lifetime. And in fact, even for high blood pressure, even here in Singapore, many young people have hypertension. Many young people develop hypertension and not know it. They go around undiagnosed because often many of these chronic diseases do not have a symptom. They at the early stage at least, they don't feel anything, right? So if you don't take a test, you will never fail a test. Right? If you don't check it, you will never know that you are not doing well in it, right? That you have high blood pressure. So many young people, even in the 20s and 30s, will walk around, right, with high blood pressure without knowing it, right? Many of them will walk around with high blood pressure without knowing it. So I want to encourage all of you. I want to encourage you that it is not just possible, it is only responsible for us to um, do everything that we are willing to do, everything that we are able to do, to not just enjoy our life, but to run the full race fully. Run the full race fully. Not just have a good fight, but run the full race fully. That means that we want to give ourselves the best possible chance to remain in relative good health till our old age, to the last days of our life. And that means we need to keep diabetes, coronary artery disease, stroke, dementia, and all these chronic diseases at bay. All these chronic diseases at bay. And we can do that through our lifestyle. We can do that through our diet. So that's the reason why I've been on this personal campaign as a start, as a baby step. It's not the only thing that we need to do. Right? Of course, we need to do many things regards to our exercise habit, our sleeping habits, our stress management habits. In terms of diet, there are so many different aspects that I often have to one by one, step by step, identify, educate, and then coach my patients through one-to-one coaching session to help them change, to help them improve. There are many aspects of one's diet that we need to deal with, that people need to deal with. But right, we can all, every single one of us, we can all take the first step, the baby step of going without added sugar in our beverages. No sweetened beverages. Right? I'm not just talking about soda. I'm talking about any sweetener in your coffee, any sweetener in your drinks, in your tea, any sugar in your soy milk, any sugar in that you added sugar. Okay? So I want to encourage everybody. How many of you agree with me? Right? Would you want to share with me in the comments, regardless of where you're watching this from, right? Whether on any of my Facebook pages or my YouTube channel, right? Or on Instagram, right? Can I challenge you, right? To not just go without sugar in your beverages for next 7 days. Can I challenge you, or can I request that you also encourage your friends or relatives around you to do so? It can be a very simple but very powerful thing. Because what I've seen is that many people, after taking the first baby steps towards a healthier lifestyle, a healthier diet, that will become the stepping stone, that will become the boost in their motivation, in their morale to do more. Good things begets good things, right? A good habit will become the stepping stone to more good habits. Right? So one of the very simple, seemingly very simple thing that a person can do is not to have sugar in their beverages. Any sugar, any sweetener of any kind, just for 7 days. Not 7 weeks, not 7 months, not 7 years, just for 7 days. And after that, you can decide whether you still want to have sugar in your coffee, whether you still want to have sugar in your tea, whether you still want to have sweetened beverages. Up to you, right? But at least for the next 7 days, just set your sight on a very near, but yet reasonably substantial duration, right? Time frame of the next 7 days. 7 days, no sugar in your drinks. 7 days, no sugar in your beverages. On how many of you are willing to do so? If you are, go to the link in the description on my YouTube, on my Instagram, on my Facebook, and sign up. And I shall endeavor to send you a daily email to encourage you to motivate you, to support you, to press on. And hope that through these 7 days, right, this simple, actually not easy, simple step of acquiring a habit, acquiring the ability to go without any kind of added sweetness in your beverages, right, will become your baby step, will become your stepping stone, will become your booster engine, your booster rocket to propel you to take the next step to do more. Right? I often see my patients, I often see people who come to me for one-to-one coaching, right, to improve their lifestyle and diet. I often see them starting to do one thing, and because of the success that they have, the small win that they have made, the breakthrough that they have, right, they will then on their own be motivated to do more. They begin to exercise more, they begin to be more mindful of stress, they become more mindful of the importance of sleeping well, and they make the effort. Because life is like this. You either go into a vicious cycle or you are onto a virtuous cycle, right? So can I put it to you that even though you may not be having diabetes, even though you may not have a lot of sugar in your diet, even though you do not have a lot of sugar, high amount of sugar in your drinks, right? When you order coffee, you just have a little bit of sugar, siu tai, right? Even though you may not have a lot, can I put it to you that it is useful, it is beneficial, it is even enjoyable to not put any kind of sugar into your beverages as a start, into your beverages, added sugar into your beverages. Okay, so I want to encourage you and join me in this 7 day no sugar in drinks challenge. Okay, I want to encourage you to join me in this 7 day no sugar in drinks challenge. Right? And if you are open to do so, you are game, you are on. Right? I invite you to sign up, not just think about it, just take action. Take action by signing up. Go to the link in this video, go to my website, just put an email and name, and then once you do that, subscribe to that 7 day daily email from me, so that I hope that from the daily email you would give you information, give you encouragement to press on, to do everything that you can. Hello, Patricia Patton. Right, you are from Trinidad and Tobago and always enjoy my video. Thank you for encouragement. Right, as a person who is very active on social media, even live stream and all, especially when I do videos, we almost like we are speaking into this dark, empty cave. We often do not know whether anybody's watching. We often do not know whether anybody's appreciating. I often do not know whether anybody's watching, whether anybody's appreciating, anybody's learning, anybody's benefiting, right, from the effort that I put into doing videos, the effort that I put into doing live stream like this. I often do not know. So I want to thank you, Patricia, for even this very short message, this comment there, right? It gives me that encouragement. Hey, somebody's watching, somebody's appreciating, and I hope somebody's benefiting. So, Patricia, thank you for the encouragement you gave me on this beautiful Saturday morning. Thank you, Patricia, from Trinidad and Tobago. Right, more of you have joined in right now. For those of you, right, who are new here, right, I'm Dr. Chan. I'm a medical doctor from Singapore. I'm a practicing medical doctor. I'm just a doctor. I'm just an ordinary doctor. I am passionate about. I made it my life mission to activate, to educate, to support people to unlock the power of their lifestyle and their dietary habits as medicine, right? To prevent, to combat diabetes, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, heart diseases, stroke, and all these chronic diseases. That has become an epidemic, especially in developed countries. Right? As we get richer, we get sicker. Right? As medical technology advances, chronic diseases is not being reduced. Right? We are better at treating sick people, keeping them alive longer, but we are not getting any better at keeping people from getting sick. And we must do better in that. Right? We must do a lot better in that. We must, right? We must not depend on medications alone. As a medical doctor, if necessary, I would prescribe medicine, right? Because often it is necessary to bring uh, potentially dangerous condition, right, to safer, better control, or give somebody that help, right, to augment their effort to change their lifestyle, right? So somebody with high blood pressure, and being diagnosed for the very first time to be very elevated, it's reasonable for them to have the prescribed medication, right? It's reasonable for a person with high blood sugar to prescribe medication, but we should not depend on it alone. We should never ever depend on medication alone to control conditions that are significantly caused by our lifestyle and diet, right? If our kitchen floor is flooded because of leaking taps or tap that you have left, running, right? We cannot just keep mopping the floor. We must go and look for the leaking pipes. We must go for the running tap. Switch it off, repair it, tape it up. Right? If not, you will be not fighting a losing battle. You'll be mopping, and the source of the water to causing the flooded floor is continue. Right? We must not depend on medications alone. When it comes to diabetes, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, cardiovascular disease, we must unlock the power of our lifestyle. We must unlock the power of our diet. We must unlock the power of our choices we make on a daily basis, be it our sleep, be it our stress management, being joyful. Being joyful. Cheerfulness is good medicine. Our mind is medicine. Our mindset is medicine. Right? So there are many, many things that we can do beyond medications to help us prevent, to help us control, to help us reverse, to help us combat diabetes, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, cardiovascular disease. There are many things we can do beyond just taking medication, beyond supplements. Let's not talk about pills, right? Not talking about pills. I'm talking about choices. Use your choices to combat diseases and not depends on pills, whether in the form of medications or supplements. Right? I hope not sure how many of you agree with me. I apologize. Some of you may be a bit taken aback when I started to speak so passionately. When it comes to this topic, I can't help it. Right? When it comes to this topic, I am in a hurry, to get as many people as early as possible to awaken to the power of their daily choices in terms of what they do in terms of exercise, what they do in terms of diet, what they do in terms of because many people leave it too late. Because many people um, are very complacent. Right? That they think that just because they currently have not have any medical problem, they can afford to eat and live in a way that's obviously unhealthy. We must not depend on medication. We must not be afraid of medication, right? For chronic diseases, work closely with your doctor, right? Work closely with whichever medical professional team that you are working with, but never depend on medications alone. Don't solely depend on it. And also never ever reduce or stop your medications on your own. You must always work closely with your doctor. Yeah? So, hi, Louis. Louis is watching from Hong Kong. Hello, Louis. Good morning to you. Right. And we have Min Lo, right, from Singapore, I think. Yeah, from Singapore. Thank you. Min Lo, thank you. right? Thank you for encouraging me with your comment there. I thank you. Right, I have Tajo. Right, I have Tajo. Tajo, you're welcome. Right, this is not medical advice. Right, I hope that you understand that I can't give you medical advice because I'm not your doctor. I'm a doctor, but I'm not your doctor. Right, I do not know your medical conditions. I do not know your various lifestyle, your challenges. Right, but this is about mindset. The mindset of not depending on medications alone to prevent and combat chronic diseases. Right? We must unlock the power of a lifestyle. We must unlock the power of a diet. We must unlock the power of exercise as medicine, right? As medicine. Okay. So if you're keen to take the first baby step, or even if you have, even if you think you are quite okay in terms of sugar in your diet, but you still have a little bit, that just a little bit of sweetener, small amount of sweetener in your drinks, can I encourage you to go all the way? 卖走卖走做水水. Anything that's worth doing is worth doing absolutely, resolutely, consistently, and persistently. Let me say it again, maybe a bit slower. Anything that's worth doing is worth doing absolutely, consistently, persistently. Anything that's worth doing is worth doing absolutely, resolutely, consistently, and persistently. If cutting down on sugar is something that's worth doing, let us do it absolutely, resolutely, consistently, persistently. Right? To the degree that you are willing and able to. Can you start that with habit of not adding sugar in your drinks? Okay. I've shared you, those of you who have joined me in the live stream earlier. I've set myself this target. I'm not funded by anybody. I'm not from the government. I'm not from any organization. I'm just a private entity. I'm myself, just me and my wife and my small team. Um, I want to do my part in awakening people, getting people to jumpstart, unlocking the power of their lifestyle, their habits as medicine to prevent chronic diseases. And I can certainly do so. I'm confident I can do so, right, by getting people who still have room for improvement in the area of sugar in their diet. In the area of sugar in their diet. Added sugar in their diet, starting with their beverages. To practice, to experience a lifestyle, a diet of not needing any added sugar in their beverages. Do you think that coffee, how many of you think that coffee without sugar is, or do you think that coffee without sugar is, what do you think? Do you think that coffee without sugar is, or do you think that coffee without sugar is, which do you think? Give me a comment in the comment section. Do you think that coffee or tea without any sweetener is almost disgusting, not palatable? Or do you think that coffee or tea without sugar is, right? What do you think? Right. And so I for those of you who are new here, I'm Dr. Chan. I'm a medical doctor from Singapore. I do training, I do coaching, I do webinars, I do online courses, I do one-to-one coaching for people who come to me for one-to-one assessment of their lifestyle diet, for one-to-one coaching over a period of time to improve their diet and lifestyle. I also doing online courses, webinars. I have a upcoming online webinar on reversing diabetes, the essential basics, this coming weekend. If you are keen, go to my website, join me, sign up, register for it, right? So I want to encourage you to do that, okay? I want to encourage you to do that. So, yeah, and we have Paul from Philippines, right? We have Tajo from Trinidad, right? Thank you to all of you, right, for joining me and saying hello in the comments in the stream, right? That's always useful, always encouraging, right? As I always mention, if how many of you have done live stream, or you are on TikTok, or you are YouTube, you're on Facebook, how many of you have you ever like felt very lonely, you're talking to yourself. Sometimes you feel a bit strange when you're new to this. You feel a bit strange. Who am I talking to? Is anybody watching? Is anybody bothering with what I'm saying or what I'm doing? Am I just wasting my time? So when you leave comments like this to show that, hey, someone's watching, someone is appreciating, someone is engaging, it is it is precious. Okay, that's why I thank you. Okay, I thank you. Right. Um, yes. Okay. And yeah, I was mentioning that I am going to conduct a series of live coaching, live webinars. Right. One of the things that I'm planning to do by, I think, hopefully end of June, right, is to have a webinar on, right. You need to register for that, a webinar on rice, eating of rice. Right. How many of you have rice as your staple? Right. So one of the things I'm planning to do, one of the webinar I'm planning to do to launch after the webinar this coming Saturday on reversing diabetes, the essential basics, right? 3 weeks after that, I plan to do a webinar on eat rice better to minimize unhealthy blood sugar spikes. Okay, how many of you will be interested in a webinar like this? How to eat rice better in a way that will minimize unhealthy blood sugar spikes? Because that's a question that I get asked all the time. Whenever I run programs, I do talks and all, I run sessions. We are Asians, rice is a big part of our diet, whether in Singapore, Malaysia, Thailand, Philippines, Indonesia, China, any part of Asia especially, rice is a very big part of diet. So often people, whether they have pre-diabetes, they have insulin resistance, they are overweight, they have diabetes. Many people are concerned about the sugar spike that they get from the unhealthy. Right? We get sugar spike from everything that we eat that has carbohydrates, right? But often for certain people, right, because of various reasons, that they will get unhealthy high level of spikes in their blood sugar after eating certain food. And for many people, right, rice is a staple, a big part of the daily meal in a daily diet. Right? So I often get asked, doctor, which rice is better? Right? Which is a better rice, right, to eat to that will be not so bad for blood sugar, that will be, will not give me such high blood sugar, unhealthy blood sugar spike. So often I need to I need to change the mindset. Instead of choosing which rice is better, is basmati rice better, red rice better, black rice better, is low GI rice better, is white rice okay, this kind of rice is it, parboiled rice better. Instead of looking at which rice is better, I want to train people to eat rice better. How you eat the rice is as important and maybe more important than the rice that you eat. Okay, so that's one of the webinars that I'm working on, and I'm very excited about that. That will be the last Saturday in June that I plan to do that. And this coming Saturday, I'm doing reversing type 2 diabetes, the essential basics webinar. And so if you are keen, go to my website. I'm sure I have links everywhere on my Facebook, on my YouTube, on my Instagram. Right? If you don't go to the specific page for it, always can just click onto any of the links in the navigation bar at the top. Right? You can see many of the things that I do. Right? So just go to thehabitsdoctor.com. Right? You will get listing of everything that I do, every program that I run, everything that I am uh, planning, the events I have. Okay, I want to thank everybody for joining me today. Right, I think I want to go and get something to eat. Okay, I'm a little bit hungry. It's almost lunchtime. I plan to go and get some lei cha. How many of you like lei cha? Thunder tea rice. Right, I'm going to get some thunder tea rice. Okay, so thank you everybody for coming in for a chat to say hello. And again, if you are keen, you are willing, sign up for this 7-day no sugar in drinks challenge. 7-day challenge. Not adding sugar in your drinks. Okay, so Have a blessed weekend, everybody. Maybe I should live stream my lei cha in a few minutes. How many of you want me to live stream my lei cha meal to show you the lei cha that I have? I'm going to buy in a minute. I like the lei cha here, you know, the tender tea rice. Right? I used to hate lei cha. Right? I used to hate lei cha, but right now I love lei cha. Lei cha is this almost Asian salad, warm salad with lots of vegetables, lots of different kind of healthy ingredients. Wow. Right. Okay, so maybe I shall live stream that as I eat and chit chat with you. It's a weekend, right? Nice day to do that. And Tajo, right, from Trinidad, it's night time. And thank you for joining me, you know, in this chat. Okay, no sugar in drinks, a baby step towards unlocking the power of your lifestyle, your dietary habits as medicine to prevent, to combat, to control, to reverse chronic diseases. Okay, thanks everybody. See you in a while, maybe. I shall turn on the live stream. I watch this page wherever you're watching. I shall turn on the live stream again when after I ordered my lei cha.